Hey friends, welcome back to Cookie TV. I'm Jack. You might have seen me on some of the videos we've been putting out on TikTok and Instagram and Twitter around K-pop news in particular, but in this video and some of the videos you'll see going up on the channel soon, they're going to be a little bit different. We're going to be looking more at K-culture more broadly because there's always going to be a little bit of overlap between interest in K-pop and then interest in Korea generally. It's why so many foreigners end up moving here. This is my first big trip to Korea. I'm here for almost 2 months, and so I kind of wanted to take advantage of that time and see as much as I could without burning out while I was here. And so the first trip that we're going to be going on in this video is Busan. Busan has a little bit of something for everyone. It has the beach, it has the mountains, it has great views, it has a lot of historic and traditional stuff going on. It's got plenty of new and trendy stuff going on, so there's something for everyone here. Busan historically is a port town, and so it's well known online from what I read as a seafood hub. My problem is I'm not super big on seafood, so I ended up getting to my first stop, Jagalji markets, and realizing actually this smells kind of really full on. You can smell it outside, like there are street vendors across the road. You end up going into the building and you can have this wall of like seafood smell just hits you, and I was like, that's a little bit intense. So I ended up heading towards another destination, but on the way there, I came across this fish cake store. Fish cake is everywhere in Korea. Certainly in the almost 2 months that I've been here in Seoul, I've come across fish cake loads of times, but this store had a bunch of different flavors of fish cakes. There was stuff with shrimp and with sausages in it and with different like cream cheeses, all sorts of different flavors. So I ended up getting a few and heading over to Biff Square, which is the Busan International Film Festival Square. Biff Square has a lot of food stalls. It's common in a lot of different areas around Seoul, around Busan, but I found a bunch of different ones. There was a mandu place, which is Korean dumplings, and I was actually able to eat them there, which was super cute. There was gimbap, there was all sorts of stuff on offer. One stall that I feel like I'm seeing more and more the more I kind of like pay attention is this like red bean paste donut pastry situation. It drew a bit of a crowd, and it's so good. It's not too sweet, it's not too much of anything. It's just perfectly well balanced, and because they end up cutting it open when you buy it, it's not searingly hot when you bite into it either, which is really good. My next destination was the Busan Modern and Contemporary History Museum. On the way there from Biff Square, I walked through these alleyways just full of clothes stores, which there are plenty of bargains to be had if you're looking. My suitcase is already pretty full from the 2 months that I've been here. But heading to the museum, it had actually only just reopened, I think a few days before I got there. It had been a few different things through its life. It used to be an American like barracks. There's a lot of history in this building, and there's a lot of there is an exhibition upstairs actually. Downstairs is kind of a library co-working space situation, but upstairs there's this pretty minimal exhibition telling a little bit of the story of the building itself and the role Busan played over the course of the last more than few decades really. And so that was kind of interesting to see a very different side of Busan. The next destination is one of the big ones that most people will end up going to. It is Gumcheon Culture Village. Now it is this cute little carved out of a mountain, colorful as hell village. You end up getting there, and the bus that you take has this winding road up these mountains. Don't try and walk this. If the bus isn't running, come back another day. The roads can be pretty full on. Once you end up getting off the bus, you have this fantastic view of the entire neighborhood, and it's super cute. But once you end up going a little bit further into it, you come across like how much of a tourist hub it is. There are all sorts of different restaurants and different cute stores selling all sorts of different small knickknacks and merchandise and souvenirs, stuff like that. And so it's like a really cute energy essentially to come across and to kind of soak in for a little bit while you're there. You might have been able to tell from my accent that I am Australian. I grew up around a lot of really good beaches close to my hometown, Brisbane, and so going to this next destination for Busan Air Cruise, it's actually located in Songdo Beach. And so when I ended up getting off the bus and seeing the beach for the first time, oh, it was lovely. It's also not a particularly busy beach. There are a few other beaches around Busan Central that pull a big crowd of tourists, both local and international. Understandably, they are really big, they have big vistas, great views, great energy, but it was nice to kind of go to Songdo Beach accidentally, essentially, and see that it was rather low key, and I was able to kind of soak it up and enjoy it for what it was, which was a little bit of time away from the crowds that can sometimes be a little bit overwhelming in cities like Busan or in Seoul. Busan Air Cruise itself has 2 tickets you can buy. You can buy one with a normal floor and one with a diamond floor. The normal floor is just like solid, so you can't see through it. The diamond floor, you can see directly through to the ocean, which I think for people who are particularly scared of heights probably sounds a little bit dicey. But to be honest, even the normal floor, like, it wasn't the view beneath me that kind of shook me a little bit. It was hearing the wind rush past me, getting dragged across on the cable car. So if you're a little bit averse to heights, maybe dodge this one. Go to Songdo Beach, it's still like a cute place. There are still plenty of cute cafes and restaurants around. But Busan Air Cruise gives you a fantastic view of the beach itself and a lot of Busan as well, which was really fun. The next beach is the one that everyone talks about. Hyundai Beach is about an hour out of Busan station itself. It's not terribly hard to get to, but it is a little bit of a trip. And it's a pretty big beach. Like, Songdo is relative to Hyundai, certainly, quite small. Hyundai is huge. It is a big, long beach, and there were loads of tourists. Going with like a friend group, I think, would be kind of fun. There are plenty of cafes and restaurants around, of course. There was one that I went to called Rendezvous, which gives you a great view of almost the entirety of Hyundai Beach. And then once I was there, it was really just kind of enjoying being near the water. Again, I grew up around beaches, so I kind of love that. By the end of the day, I was maybe feeling a little bit run down, so I decided to wrap up by visiting a temple. There are plenty of temples, certainly, in most parts of Korea to visit. Haeyeonjongsa is not far from Hyundai Beach, and it's a pretty low-key vibe, certainly by the time that I went. There might be more people through, say, the middle of the day, but by the end of it, I just kind of needed to wind down before heading back to my room for the evening. That's it for Busan. Let me know if there's anything that you feel like I missed, or anything that you are kind of keen to visit maybe the next time you're in Korea. And stay tuned on the Kooky YouTube channel for more updates and more travel around Korea.